Ah. I'm here, guys. AWO in the house. AWO. In order on this beautiful Friday night. What's up, guys? Hope we're all doing good tonight on this Friday night. Yeah, we're gonna look at Grace Randolph tonight. Yeah, we're gonna look at her Creature Commandos about a week later from last week when I did a stream on her. And we'll see who's in the chat. What's up, Sideways? I haven't seen Sideways in a while. Sideways is in the house. Yeah. You just saw it today? Same with Blinded. Blinded saw it today too. Okay. Yo, Degrassi. What's up? We're gonna look at Creature Commandos from Grace Randolph. Make sure to like. I'm gonna put that in the comments. Oh man. Thank you. Like and sub, please, if you can. Because this will be fun. I want to hear what she has to say. I know Blythe just watched the video. I know Grace's thoughts on Rotten Tomatoes. She actually did like it. To be honest, he kind of gave it praise, but still, there were still some. I would say some backhanded compliments. Even though she did kind of like it, I just on the Rotten Tomatoes score. That's all. Okay. The Rotten Tomatoes score. Okay, that's what I know. I'm so tired. I'm actually quite tired, man. But I was planning to do this anyway. Where is my blue? Did I get rid of the blue sky? I want to see if the Grassy can handle Grace. Oh, by the way, I saw that Degrassi. I followed her. I did it for fun. I followed her, but I don't think she's posted much on Blue Sky though. Oh, I got 10 people watching. All right. Also, I got this. Blinded just saw the movie today. Not the movie. The show today. Finally, the movie. I can't believe I said movie. Yeah. Does she know? She know? Yeah. Yeah. I haven't watched the video, but I saw the Rotten Tomato review. Yeah. Yeah, she basically, yeah. I mean, like that's Grace, right? She doesn't want to give James Gunn too much credit, right? She wants to make sure not to give James Gunn too much credit. That's why. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's why. She doesn't want to give the Gunster too much credit. That's the reason why. Let's be honest. Yeah, I call him the Gunster. I'm sorry. She's just a. You know what I think? I'm getting to think. Deep down, she secretly likes the Gun person out, but she can't admit it. She can't admit it. She can't let her bias go. I think she's deep down. And Degrassi, I sent you a link. blinded. I don't know if you hear. I sent you a link. What's up? Hollywood attacking her. Um, I don't even think. The thing is, Grace is on Blue Sky, but she hasn't posted in 17 days. She really hasn't posted in 17 days. That's the thing. She hasn't, yeah. So, whatever. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just reading something. Somebody replied to on X to one of my tweets about not for us to. It's really ridiculous, man. I'm just laughing at it. Yeah, yeah. She's trying to play both sides, and when you have a reviewer speak like that, you can't take them at face value, and you usually know that means yeah. It usually means she doesn't like it. Okay. She doesn't like it. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna get this up. Just a minute. Just give me a second. I gotta get something. Where is it? I'm gonna get this up. Her video, her review video. I waited to do a video on this once because I wanted to see the show for myself, and then I want to get her thoughts. And then I want to get her thoughts after seeing the show for myself. I sent an invite to my buddy Degrassi, my buddy Blinded. Okay, Blind is coming on soon. I got Marvel Rivals, by the way. Man, I'm really pissed off with that game already. I mean, I like the game, but it's really pissing me off. Yeah, she's gonna ally herself with the Snyder fans. All right, let's get her up here.
Interesting.
19 minutes.
When I was talking, hinting at the Creature Commandos screeners that I got like a week or so ago on one of the live streams, and I said, it's a little vulgar, somebody said, isn't it just like the Harley Quinn animated series?
It's a little vulgar. This show is not a little vulgar. I don't know what she's talking about. This show is not a little vulgar. This show is there's a lot of vulgar shit in this show. Okay? She's ready. In already the first 2 episodes, there's a lot of vulgar shit in this show already. I don't think it's a just in the chat for me. I know you don't like to do Grace. I know you usually don't like to come and talk Grace right now. I know you like to roast her in the chat. I know. I understand. But this show is not little vulgar. I don't know what she's talking about. It's a lot of vulgar. There's a lot more than that. Oh, Indiana Jones? Yeah. I got it. Yeah. The thing is, I get it on Tuesday or Monday because I did not pre-order the actual deluxe edition. I ordered just a regular edition, so I'm getting it later, not today. Indiana Jones. I have Marvel Rivals to pass the time, but Grace we trust, right? Grace and trust to give us content to roast on. Oh, by the way, Blind will be joining us in a few. Okay.
Definitely describe also as vulgar. But I thought that was a very interesting question. And of course, James Gunn has guest starred on the Harley Quinn animated series himself. And I thought about it.
So did Zack Snyder also guest star on something too? So
I think that my answer is that while they're definitely, I don't even know if I'd say cut from the same cloth because the animation style is also very different. But I think they both have the same goal, but they actually end up being the antithesis of each other. And I think the best way to describe it is if you watch the Harley Quinn series, the animated Harley Quinn show, and you're like, I don't really appreciate this, then Creature Commandos is probably something that you will appreciate, and vice versa.
What? Oh my god. She does realize they're two different. Oh no, she's crazy. Oh, probably James Gunn and Great James Gunn and Harley Quinn. Nobody talks about Teen Titans Go. Harley Quinn is a popular show that people watch, so I'll say Harley Quinn. Okay, Harley Quinn. James Gunn's guest appearance of Harley Quinn. That's an easy one. That's. Oh yeah, I know. Who cares, right, Degrassi? Who fucking cares? Like seriously, who really cares? He's having fun. Who cares? Just watch the fucking show. And who cares? Really? Like really? Who cares? Oh yeah, there's directors that cameo in their films all the time. James Gunn, Alfred Hitchcock's not the first. There's other directors that do that too. They're not the first. Like it's actually it's more common than people think.
I love the Harley Quinn show, as many of you know. And so Creature Commandos is not really for me. However, I watched all the screeners.
Why? Because it's James Gunn? Yeah, thank you, Degrassi.
Because I wanted to.
Yeah, they're probably some of them probably just in the background, kind of like extras. You know, like extras in the background for certain scenes. In movies and TV shows.
Review it, and I do have a couple of positive things to say about it.
Okay.
And also, some points that I want to make about.
You said this is no spoilers, right? Yeah, no spoilers.
The new DCU and James Gunn at the helm, and I think that there's very strong, clear through lines in James Gunn's work that I think has emerged. Although, particularly
it has emerged. You don't think it actually has emerged, lady? Come on.
I think you could loop right his non-Marvel work. Let's say his non-Marvel work. So I'm interested to discuss it with you. All right, non-spoiler review. So where was I? Positive elements. All right, so I came to like the character of the bride.
What interests me? You know how she has all her bullet points on the side? Like all the topics she's gonna go over on the side. You see all in purple? The font, the words in purple, the font in purple. Toxic elements. That's what's probably gonna make us stop more than anything in this stream. Is probably what she says about her toxic elements subject point when she gets to it. That's probably gonna get us probably make us stop a lot. Because we know Degrassi, everybody, sideways, everybody knows that she always attacks James Gunn for toxic stuff in his projects. Right? He accuses him of toxic stuff in his projects. Always. So that's definitely gonna be an interest here. But that's some ways off, obviously. But let's continue.
Very much. I also sort of liked the music. I mean, it's a little Well, I think it's all from one source, but it feels a little Guardians of the Galaxy once again in terms of like choosing very strong song choices over like a score. So let's say, although I think it also
Yeah, but James Gunn's always been to do that. He always chooses yeah. Gunn doesn't have a score for his stuff. It's always a bunch of different songs that fit that fit the style of his films and TV shows. He always does that. He doesn't really have a score. I mean, Peacemaker had a score for the beginning, right? But yeah, Guardians didn't really have a score per se. Um, Suicide Squad, not really. No, like she's right. She's right. But sometimes many written songs not made for movies or TV shows just fit better with the current element, current show or movie, whatever. There's some just fit better. And believe me, the score is creating a score for a movie or show is cool, but a score is really about consumers buying the movie soundtrack. It's all it is. Creating a score for a movie or TV show is all about buying the soundtrack to the movie. That's what it's all about. That's all it's about. CD or just downloading the songs off whatever Apple, whatever. That's what it is. That's what movies. Right. That's really what it is. Okay. Let's be honest. Okay.
maybe has a score a little bit, but like it was a lot when binging the show. Like I was like, I just can't take this
Yeah, of course you can't take it.
intense polka anymore. But I did like the idea of the intense polka. You know, I think week to week it's probably gonna
Polka. She likes polka. She likes polka. I think does she like polka dancing? Does she like polka? Does she like that kind of stuff? Does she like that kind of stuff? Does she likes polka? You know? Does she like polka, guys? Does she really like polka? Do you guys like polka? Uh,
play better. I know a lot of you really like the Peacemaker intro, which I do not care for, but I appreciate
you
that some
can't, Grace. You cannot criticize Open to Peacemaker if you haven't fucking watched the show. And I think I'm gonna say this: Grace Randolph says she has not watched Peacemaker. I think she watched it. I think she really. I think secretly she watched Peacemaker. I bet you she really watched Peacemaker. I bet you. I bet you she did watch Peacemaker. Okay. Like I don't believe her for a second she didn't watch it. I think she watched it. I think she fucking watched the show. I think she definitely watched Peacemaker. Polka, polka. I can see Grace Randolph being into polka. Look, you know how you see this picture. You see the bride, the Frankenstein's bride. That's my reaction to Grace lately, right? Me with my arms crossed, like, are you serious? That's how I'm. That's how I react. That's how I react to Grace sometimes now. Just my arms crossed, my face making my my face looking like that. You know, like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you really kidding me? Oh, she really? Oh, okay. Yeah. Like, I hate when people do that. I hate when people see clips from shows and movies and they say, oh, yeah, this is not good. and they haven't watched it. I'm like, and they don't know the context. She doesn't know the context. The pride gets it. Thank you. Doesn't get the context. I mean, there was a whole. This was 2 years ago. I'm not gonna say names here, but I remember last. It was a Snyder fan. It was a Snyder fan. I'll say that. It was a Snyder fan, who didn't watch the show but saw a scene. But saw a scene for Peacemaker. It was the last. I think it was the second last episode, or the last episode when Peacemaker was refusing to answer what's Danielle Brooks' character's name? Waller's daughter. What's her name? I forget her name. Danielle Brooks' character, Waller's daughter. Correct me and tell me in the comments her name. But you remember when she was trying to ask for forgiveness from Peacemaker. Peacemaker was just being immature by making farting noises, and that's just somebody like Snyder fan. I'm not gonna say names. Yeah, go all ape shit and crazy over that. Yeah, it's like over that. Okay, but they didn't watch the show. Never watched the show, so they don't understand the fucking context. I hate when people watch scenes of a show or movie, and they judge a book by its cover, right? And oh yeah, this doesn't look good. But they don't understand. They haven't watched the movie or the show. That's already out, and to know the context of a scene. You're right. It's the classic judging a book by its cover. Okay. And it makes him look like an idiot, a fool. It's just Shaggy smoking a doobie. Yeah. Shaggy's in it. Shaggy's in this, guys. Shaggy's in this show. Yeah, thank you. Alabeo. Yeah, thank you. All right, so let's continue. What is this? Let's continue with this.
Many of you like it, and I think you might this isn't as avant-garde as the Peacemaker intro, but it's fun. And also with the Suicide Squad Rick Flag versus
Because they're pissed off of how they did a good send-off for Superman and Lois. It was a good send-off for those two characters. Really, really good send-off. Yeah, they're mad. I know. Snyder fans are idiots. Their love for Zack Snyder's stuff makes them intellectually inept, stupid, blind, needing psychiatric help. I go that far sometimes with some of them. They need psychiatric help because they're deluded. They're also paranoid. They think Gunn's out to get Snyder and some stuff. They all think Gunn is there to, and some stuff. They think Gunn is there to sabotage Snyder, make fun of Snyder, stuff like that. Their definition. All of them have a definition of a definition. I mean, blind just comes on when I just talk about Snyder fans. Sorry, I'm just ranting at Snyder fans blinded.
Didn't even know. I just came in. I was playing Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, I have it too, man. You like it?
Yeah, I like it so far. I've been playing with my friends, so I just had to do something quick, and then I'll go back and play it while I talk.
Oh yeah, I was just bitching about Snyder fans. I call them so many stuff. I call them like deluded, paranoid, intellectually inept. I mean,
did you see that it's already begun? They're already saying the DCU is woke and it's over.
It's
not
woke,
the Snyder fans, but other people.
Yeah, because of the first episode and stuff.
Yeah, the first episode.
Well, yeah. Yeah, a double agent for Marvel. Yeah, and he say that too. He's there to sabotage DC. Yeah, I remember that.
So
No,
far,
he
Marvel
hasn't.
Rivals, I've only played as Punisher and
Oh,
Star-Lord.
I played a store. I tried Hela because there's some, there's like missions you gotta do with certain characters, right? You gotta achieve this goal,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like, Hela sucks. I'm like,
Wait, you
no,
bought the Battle Pass?
no, I didn't buy the battle pass.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Hela sucks. I'm like, no, I'm not using Hela ever again. The show's far from woke, man. Well, Critical Drinker, I didn't watch this video, but I saw the title of Critical Drinker's video. I don't subscribe to him, but I just saw him. On but you know how YouTube works. He said, you know what? It's not that bad. This show, so
Yeah, but he's gonna change his mind.
probably,
Yeah,
probably,
they always do that.
probably.
Yeah, they were losing their minds because of what yeah, the first episode of the Sons of Themyscira.
Oh, feminist. Yeah, the feminist shit with the guy said anti wokeness. Why did no men allowed on some mascara stuff like that?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen. That was them to make. That was God making fun of those people.
Mhm. Yeah,
Which
well, obviously, yeah.
honestly, I mean, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't go after any fan base. Seriously, I personally think I wouldn't go any other fan base, whether they're like that or not. I think it doesn't
Mhm.
help anyone.
If someone was to supply me with all the other episodes,
I mean,
I need to watch this show right now. Like, I need to watch it right now. Like, sit down and
I'm gonna say that it's a really
I
good
needed
show.
it.
It's a really good show, but X Men '97 is better.
I mean, so far, I really like this show. I mean, yeah, it's kind of short,
Yeah,
the
that's
episodes.
one of my this show. This here, I don't know if you listen to my stream. This show, the episodes are short. I think that's what hurts it a bit, and I think
Mhm.
this needs to be a binge show, not a weekly show. That's what I think.
Yeah, I wish it all just dropped. That's it. How many episodes is it?
7.
7 episodes. Okay.
Yeah. I saw somebody we know. I'm not gonna name names, but they were doing a stream. We kind of you know who they are because you've seen them before. Comparing
Mhm.
doing two shows came out this week. This show and Skeleton Crew, right? Which
Mhm.
one is better? I'm like, I don't think you can compare the two. Skeleton Crew is very different. It's live action Star Wars. This is
I haven't watched that show, so I
Well,
can't
I think
say
you should watch it.
anything.
It's really, really good. But but I'm just saying, this is Creature Commandos animation. I don't think you can't really compare the two. If it was live action DC, maybe, but I don't think it's a good comparison.
Mm.
And yeah, exactly, Degrassi. It's not a good comparison.
Yeah, one is an adult show, animated show. Like,
Star Wars is like the most kiddie show on Disney. Obviously Pixar and all that stuff's kiddie, but if you compare it to Marvel, Disney Star Wars is a lot more kiddie than kid friendly than Marvel. The Marvel stuff.
right.
Yeah, it's not comparable. I'm sorry. And this Grace Randolph, oh, sorry, good. He just came in, and you know what? You didn't miss much. It was just 2 minutes and 46 seconds
Yeah,
in.
I did watch this beforehand, so I am kind of aware of what she was saying.
Do you
There's
you
a
know what
lot
she
of
said?
nonsense.
Do you? I'll ask you this. You know she said she didn't watch Peacemaker. Do you think she really? Do you think she really watched Peacemaker? I think she really watched it.
I mean, I'm not sure, but I feel like well, like I still don't really understand what is her whole thing about James Gunn. I mean, like wasn't she complaining about the bride or something? And it's like the bride is one of the best characters in the show. What is she talking about?
Mm-hmm.
At least so
Well,
far.
you should see what they're doing. You should see what Blue Sky is doing to Grace Randolph. I mean, I know Degrassi's
Oh
not in the
man.
stream, but he doesn't want to come in because Degrassi's would prefer to chat. But if he was in the stream, he would definitely tell you what's happening on Blue Sky over Grace Randolph. You're
What is
kind of,
happening?
you're kind of blacklisting her off.
Yeah,
And people are blocking her, and like Grace Randolph's here, they're kind of blocking her and stuff.
that's crazy.
But she hasn't posted in 17 days on Blue Sky. That's the thing. She hasn't posted in almost 3 weeks, and here's red. And people are attacking. Snyder fans are attacking the Lois and Superman. Because Lois and Superman had a great ending. I mean, I had a great ending to the series. Saw it series.
Mhm.
It wasn't. It was Yeah, she has a hate she says she likes the show, but I feel like there's a lot of backhanded compliments, a lot of stuff. Like, like,
Yeah.
she, like she
She
doesn't want
says
to
a lot
be.
of I don't know, she just says a lot of weird things about the
I
show
She
and
doesn't want to praise him. I think she likes doing
yeah.
some stuff secretly, deep down.
But
Like
it's
deep.
because James Gunn made that one comment and now she's like forever against him. It's just weird.
You know what? Hey, there's some people I
Damn.
don't like, but it doesn't mean I don't like the content. We could be very honest about the content, what what they make, right? So, and there's some people that
Yeah,
you know what?
what's the problem with saying something is good if you don't like the person? I mean, who
Yeah,
cares? Grace just gets way too wrapped up in the whole personal drama stuff with people. It's not
I know silence.
like
I
she's
know.
just a commentator. Who cares? Well, like why I mean, and let's be honest, she was spreading bullshit.
Yeah,
Like, was
yeah.
he wrong? No, he wasn't wrong. It's just that, yeah, it hurt your feelings. I get that, but yeah, you were. I mean, and then she stopped too. And then she's like, "Oh, he's trying to push me out of the space." It's like, what space? He's allowing you to
Wait,
exist.
James
It's
Gunn
just that you
doesn't
stop
have
spreading bullshit rumors. That's it.
James Gunn doesn't have time to run somebody out of space, man. What the fuck is a fucking universe to helm?
The thing is, like, the rumors and all this stuff, I mean, I think it's for the better that they stop. Like, I don't mind if it's wow, I just died immediately. What the hell?
Marvel Rivals, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's like I don't know, I feel like yeah, like I don't really care that much about rumors. Like they come out way too persistently, like or consistent, I should say.
Yeah,
Like if it was like once in a while, it wouldn't be as bad, but
there are well, there's a lot of stuff the first two episodes might be setting up, but this show is setting up a lot.
mhm.
There might be something in an upcoming movie trailer that has something to do with the week-to-week schedule. Might and Grace reached her breaking point. She might become Snyder fans. Though she trolled the Snyder. She gave the Snyder fans so much hope like 3 years ago when the Snyder cut. Oh, I hear Warner Bros. Was talking about this as like 2 and 3. I remember that. She trolled
Yeah,
them
it's
too.
bullshit.
She trolled them too. She trolled the Snyder fans too. But like, here's the thing: she doesn't have a side. Okay, okay. She doesn't have a side. Like, that's the thing with let's see what.
This Peacemaker sequence, oh, that was a thing of beauty. G.I. Robot, interestingly enough, has some of the coolest and most interesting sequences in this show, with some deep cut Easter eggs and one aerial shot, which let's just say includes raining bullets. You will know it when you see it. That is truly beautiful. I was like, damn, that's a nice shot. It was very, very good. It was as good as when he had that cool reflection in the Peacemaker helmet. And you were like, oh, that was a very nice shot.
Look, needs a stronger lead. God.
Mhm.
Also, I think that after a rocky and quite frankly icky first few episodes, the mystery that's explored here is actually kind of interesting. I found myself somewhat intrigued.
This show is funny as hell. I mean, the Frankenstein. Laser
Oh yeah, the
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein just
But she's been chasing her for like centuries.
yeah.
Different eras and stuff. Oh my god. Yeah, I can't believe she still has that early access to Warner content. The thing is, there's it's nothing new. It's nothing new. I mean, like you have these movie critics that talk shit sometimes about things. The movie studios don't do anything. They don't care. They just give them access. Like they'll just give them access. Cersei's plan.
I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good mystery. That's how I felt when it was done. I was like, oh, that was pretty good. In regards to that mystery, though, speaking of deep cuts, but again, no spoilers, I got a bit of an education. This was interesting to me
Education.
as to when and how, and sometimes why deep cuts do not work. I had not quite understood this because we've been having a lot of discussion about deep cuts. James Gunn is a big deep cut guy, and I've been like, oh, what deep cuts are too niche. But then at one point, the princess here.
Grace, you want deep cuts or slow motion? Which one? You know, you know what I thought?
Damn.
I thought this princess was secretly Cersei in disguise at first. That's what I thought. I don't know the way she acts around Rick Flag. Like Cersei is kind of like a seductress. I wouldn't be surprised if she is secretly the Cersei in this Cersei also. Because Cersei is magical. She's like a
Don't they have a scene in the trailer?
yeah.
In the new trailer?
I think so.
Yeah, the new trailer showed a bunch of stuff. I don't know why they did that, but I
Disgrace
mean, it's
Randolph.
kind of minor, so I guess it's
I
not
don't
that
think
big
she.
a deal.
Here's the thing. I know you're making this up because we know she does. She doesn't play video games, so she has no idea about these games.
Yeah.
Her chief of guard is referred to as Amethyst Knight. And I was like, oh my God, is she Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld? She's
Fuck. Shut up, Grace. No.
not. That's why this is not a spoiler. But I like the fact that she might be. Oh my gosh, I got so excited. So here's the thing. If you're not familiar with Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld, she was created in the 1980s as sort of like DC's She-Ra, although she came out the year before She-Ra debuted. So it's like a little bit like,
Nah. She's gonna die. I think she's gonna die.
hmm
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
think.
There's probably something with the princess that's gonna be, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
super.
she's all what she is. I don't like it.
I just don't think she's Cersei. I just don't really see that. At least not yet, at least. But
You think? The thing is, Cersei. I understand. Like Cersei is kind of an OP villain for this kind of team. If you think about
mhm,
it. I mean, Bride does pretty well against her, but this is fucking Cersei, man. Cersei does not really need to do physical combat against a bride. I mean, like she just does magic, and Cersei wasn't even using her full power. Like she wasn't. Like I'm gonna shocked when I saw Cersei as the villain in this show. I'm like, Cersei. You know how powerful Cersei is. You need somebody like Wonder Woman to go up against Cersei, or somebody
mhm.
like you need like a magic user to go up against Cersei. I mean, Wonder Woman is technically not a magic user, but you get the idea. But somebody like a magic user to go up against Cersei because Cersei is one of the most powerful villains in DC. If you think about it, Cersei
Yeah,
is a
I
Wonder
mean,
Woman.
well, it's in the trailer that they showed on this season of Creature Commando.
I mean,
I don't know
I
if they're trying to set up something, but she said that, "Oh, I'm here to show you the future." I don't know if that's misleading or
no,
whatever it
no, it's
is, but
true.
then
It's true.
no, but I mean misleading in terms of the way that it's edited.
I'm
Like that's
just,
it could just be like she's just saying that,
I'm
but
surprised. I'm just surprised, like when Waller and Rick Flag were looking at the news of Cersei in the country. I'm like, well, how come we have to take care of? Why is Wonder Woman not around? I guess they're trying to be careful. Because if this is a universe where the heroes established, shouldn't Wonder Woman be established? Like, isn't this her? Isn't it? Because Wonder Woman, if you think about it, yes, and they can't be everywhere at once. But if you got fucking Cersei creating chaos in the world, I think Wonder that would be her first priority is to go after Cersei,
mm,
right?
mhm.
Right? Why is Cersei going to take
Well, they're
over?
saying that they don't even know if Themyscira is real or not, which
Oh yeah, Zac
I mean,
Efron.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
Zac Efron's in the DCU. Yes, that's canon. Yeah. Well, Cersei says she's an Amazon, but Cersei is technically not an Amazon. She's a goddess, though.
Mhm, mhm,
Well, if the Wonder Woman origin is from like the New 52, where she's the daughter of Zeus, then Wonder Woman would be technically half god, right? If they keep that origin.
there are a couple of duplicates between DC and Marvel, and this is a duplicate between DC and Mattel. But the reason I'm familiar with the character is that a
Yeah,
couple of
yeah.
years
So
ago, you might recall this.
did you hear about this? Superman. They were pissed off with Superman was on the cross because the symbolism of Jesus. Remember in the Snyderverse. Remember the church scene and all that
mhm.
stuff.
That's what they were
Um,
mad at. Okay, it's just stupidness.
he, he's not sideways. Is not a Snyder turn. No, Brad. He's not one of them. No.
Who?
Sideways. That's what Red's calling
No,
him.
hell no.
No, he's not. Trust me, he's not. Uh, I understand the symbolism. Superman is a savior. I understand. Obviously, we know that. That's the reason why.
DC tried to bring her back. And I picked up those comics, and while they were not particularly good,
You going
I
with the
thought the
Clay
character
origin?
was somewhat interesting.
Okay.
And I remembered her. So when I thought, I was like, that is a deep cut that I can respect. Oh my gosh. If she had been Amethyst Princess of Gemworld, let me tell you, my enjoyment of this series and my respect and appreciation for it as a comic book fan would have skyrocketed. So, if you are like one of the few fans of a couple of the really, really niche deep,
You know what's weird? Where's Tara from? Teen Titans. What country is she from? Is she Russian?
I don't remember.
Like this is clearly supposed to be Russia. I'm sorry. Like an Eastern,
Yeah,
like
but it's like
definitely,
a fake. It's like a fake.
yeah, right. It's I mean, something similar to Russia, right? Like an Eastern European
Yeah,
country.
Eastern European.
Yeah, something like that. I think Tara's Russian. I'm not sure. I mean, Tara's a whole different story. That's more of a Teen Titans thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they did. I mean, in the trailer, they had Starfire, which was interesting.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because we know the Titans are established, right?
Hmm.
cuts that are on this show, you might appreciate it more than I do. And so that was interesting to me. I was like,
I'm
now
gonna say this. I don't think this is start DCU because they referenced a lot of stuff in Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. So I say maybe those two that show in the movie maybe start the DCU. Really? I don't know.
I mean, the thing is, like, the way that he described it, it's sort of like it doesn't really matter. Like, the point is, like, this is where we're saying
The
it
only
starts. I mean, the fact that the Superman looks different and also Superman has a different
my
story, kind
I
of.
I think if it's the start of DCU, I think one of my complaints I said about you privately. I know they're setting up the seeds, but I think this show should have been a Max show, and it should have had a specific time releasing, like 9 p.m. on a Thursday instead, where we have to watch it Adult Swim, which we did not watch on Adult Swim because it debuts tonight. We did not watch it on
Mhm.
Adult Swim. I think it's a mistake on Warner Brothers' part. I'm sorry. If they're setting up the universe of DCU, and it's just planting seeds, the model they did, I don't think it's the right way to go. I just don't think it's the right way to go. That's why I think they're relying heavily on Superman, right?
Right.
Hey, RJ.
I see the power of the deep cut. But the problem with the deep cut is that they're so deep that they only appeal to a minute number of people. You know, like how many of you would have been excited about Amethyst Princess of Gemworld, right? It would have been another scenario where I'm like the only person
I don't know. Maybe ask. Maybe Degrassi would know that.
defending a show. And I'd be like, because it would be like when I said I liked Borderlands because of Joan Crawford. So it's like very similar.
Shut up! No! Oh my god, the whole fucking review on that Borderlands, you were talking about Kate Blanchett. You were simping for Kate Blanchett. You weren't even reviewing the movie. You were simping for Kate Blanchett. That's all she was doing. Wasn't she blinded?
Yeah.
Man, how many? You know, like I should have took shots. I should have took shots of how many times she mentioned Kate Blanchett in that show, right? Like in that review. I mean, I had to. I don't know. Like she had to say that name like 50 times in that one review. She compared Kate Blanchett to Joan Crawford. Can we like stop doing that? Like Kate Blanchett is
Yeah,
a great actress.
that wasn't even a
Clay
Borderlands review.
Clay Blanchett just took the role because it was his first role she took during the COVID. I think that's it, and she wanted to get out. She wanted. Oh my god, she compared to fucking Joan Crawford.
But I would have enjoyed the hell out of it. So I think that the issue is that James Gunn is making deep cut references that don't have broad.
Okay, I'm gonna sound like the RJ. Just a minute. I gotta fucking Joan Crawford. I mean, I just, I just, I mean, you gotta read it off for us. This stuff or blinded. It'll make you laugh if you don't know about it.
What happened?
I'll tell you right now. Not for us to. It's not related to this, but I know you're hyped for the movie, and this is not to not to be a Debbie Downer or anything. It's not that. This is that you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh. PETA plans to protest a screening of Nosferatu due to the film depicting rats as harbingers of death. A human is no more likely to be harmed or killed by a rat in real life than by a vampire. Well, tell it to the fucking Black Plague. Tell it to the people in the Black Plague. The Black Plague is what caused the rats were the reason why the Black Plague happened. Tell them the fucking Black Plague, okay? Tell it, and bunch of other diseases. Where do you think other diseases come? Where do you think a lot of diseases come from? Fucking animals. did you hear that, Blinded?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Okay, yeah,
I'm sucking right now at this game. I might have to.
yeah. Fuck. I mean, rats were the reason for the Black Plague. That killed 30% of the world's population. It was a devastating pandemic. Very devastating.
Appeal, and also they don't appeal to me, or else I'd be out there defending them more. And even when he picks good characters that I think have broader appeal and that I am interested in, we don't always agree on his interpretation of the character. I'm like, yes, that's the right character, but I don't like what you've done with them at all. Now, DC is a particularly fractured fan base, which really sucks. It's the reason.
It's a fractured fan base, huh? Why? Why is it a fractured fan base right now? Are you saying there's a war between Snyder fans and real DC fans? Is that it? There's a war brewing, a civil war.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, RJ.
What's up?
What's up, Aaron? Ballooned.
Ballooned. Oh. Yeah. There's a fracture. DC's a fractured. Why is it fractured, Grace? Why is it fractured?
There's a DC curse and why everyone's having such.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of her reviews are weird.
Yeah, well, right now she's talking about how DC's a fractured fan base. There's a DC curse.
Such a hard time in this IP. James Gunn included so far. So it would be impossible for all of us to be on the same page. But the name of the game with DC is trying to get the most people on the same page as possible. And we'll see if Gunn can do it. I don't think he's going to be able to do it with this show. I don't even know if he's trying to, but hopefully he'll be able to do it with Superman.
Well, the goal is Superman.
So is she arguing that he needs to unite the fan base? Like what is the argument is what I'm wondering. What is the argument of what she's trying to say?
Here's the thing.
If
she's saying it's a Snyder fan she's talking about, you can't unite them.
No, they're not. They're never going to be on board with this.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Is she talking about the general audience?
Exactly.
Because that's just what I'm confused by. When she says that it's fractured and you're trying to get as many people on board as possible, well, who are you referring to?
That's the thing. She doesn't go in detail about certain stuff when she makes.
Because the general audience, I think they've just been checked out for a while. You know what I mean? So are you trying to bring them back? Are you trying to get hardcore DC fans on the same page? Who are you trying to get on the same page?
Yeah. Well, Superman is not for the hardcore fans. I mean, hardcore fans are gonna see it, but Superman is the film. It's what's gonna try to get at least a general audience.
It's trying to have the mass appeal. Where everyone goes and sees it from every walk of life and every corner of fandom.
I mean, DC has been struggling, except for Batman. Batman's always most of the time. Batman's bulletproof.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been
Blinded, what do you think she's trying to say? Because I
yeah,
can't decipher it.
I
shy.
really have no clue. This is just her trying to vocalize a criticism that really, I don't know, it just doesn't feel sincere, honestly. Like even this point of like her being like, oh, the fan base is fractured. Well, it's fractured not because of James Gunn.
No,
Like it's fractured
Well, she's
because of all
trying to
this
say
other
like that he's
baggage.
have like I think what she's trying to say is that he has to find a way to unite the audience, which I mean, I
Mhm.
guess that's the point. I don't know.
I mean, DC fans didn't even show up for most of their movies, so does it really matter?
No, it's but the normies at this point.
Yeah.
the last taste of Joe.
He's
Joker.
using his own fan base to help spread the word. That's what he's doing
The
right now.
only, the only like the only guaranteed DC projects is guaranteed to be successful. It's the Batman stuff. Batman Part Two.
Hmm.
That's like a guarantee.
Which that's been a consistent problem with the DC brand for
Yeah,
years now. Even if you go back
Mhm.
like 15, 20 years ago, we're just like the over reliance on Batman and the other characters don't have a strong enough footing to where they can be juggernauts that pull the weight.
exactly. And they wanted to make Superman back to that tier, right? Because Superman just has to be has to be an upper tier DC character, standing beside Batman, alongside Batman. And same with Wonder Woman, and even Aquaman, Flash, the Lanterns, right? You're not as big
Yeah.
as those three,
So
but as
real
Trinity.
quick, just the chat. So I'm ignorant about this because when I watched Lord of the Rings, I watched the extended versions when I was much older, like in my teens, like 12, 13, 14. So I didn't get to experience Fellowship of the Ring in 2001. Did those movies actually did that movie reflect the current time in a way? Like, and if it did, I don't even really know how it did. Because I know 2001, was it before or after 9/11? Fellowship of the Ring.
After
Was it after?
December, yeah,
Yeah. I'd
yeah.
have to think about that, how it would reflect
It was a
2001.
Christmas time movie. I remember that.
Hmm.
When did Harry Potter, the first movie, come out? It came out the same year. I know that.
I think it was it 2001?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
that
Mhm.
sound no, it sounds about right. Yeah,
No, Chamber Secret. No, that's Chamber Secret was the second one.
yeah.
That was 2022. That came out. That came out in November.
Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings come out a month apart.
Yeah,
That's
after
great.
9/11.
That's crazy to think
That's
about.
crazy.
You know what? Cause you know what? You need something like that. You need after 9/11. That's such a traumatizing event, and not just the U.S. are feeling that, but the world was feeling that. I mean, up here in Canada, we're feeling that, and and you need the people needed, especially the Americans. You needed something like that. You know,
Mhm.
sports, movies. You needed something like that. Yeah, you like even though Lord of the Rings came 3 months after, you still 3 months you really don't get over that. I mean, nobody's really truly over 9/11, but you get the point. Yeah, exactly. It's that's the thing about movies. I mean, that's the thing about entertainment. It's about right. It's taking our minds off trouble.
You know what? I didn't think about it from that perspective.
What?
Mhm.
I'm not paying attention.
Oh, sorry. Because I seen an art like that is a good point because if you think about the first Fellowship of the Ring movies, it's really all about staying together, uniting, friendship, camaraderie, kind of like that
Yeah.
banding together of different groups of people for a common cause. I could see
Mhm.
how that would like kind of correlate, like that theme of unification would like kind of reflect post 9/11. Coming
Hmm.
out at like the right time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just don't think about it in that context, but that is true. I mean, for the time when it was released.
Yeah. Like the grass is always has such great points and stuff.
But that makes you wonder what the heck could be in that Superman movie where it could reflect an issue that's going on today.
Bringing people together. That's like Superman is all about, right? It's about bringing people together in the face of dark times.
I don't
Yeah, I
know if it
mean,
will be like more social commentary. I think it was going to be more commentary on the superhero genre. That's my guess.
yeah, but Superman, like kind of. I mean, if it is a Superman movie after 9/11, I think it would do very well.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was. It just wasn't Superman.
No, I think if it was
It was
yeah,
Spider-Man. Spider-Man was the reason. I mean, that movie blew up. And that came out right after,
the
a couple of
difference.
months after
Yeah, well, yeah, the
9/11.
difference is Superman would be more inspirational compared to Spider-Man. That's the thing. He's more of an
Yeah, but
inspirational
Spider-Man
character.
is cut from the same cloth as Superman. This is the biggest inspiration for Spider-Man was Superman.
Yeah, Luther will be seen as Trump. Yeah, the difference is Degrassi. Luther's smarter than both of those guys. Okay,
Well, yeah,
okay.
Luther's smarter. He's a lot more charismatic, probably a lot more, sensible.
He's just
But that, I mean, well, even if you look at, like, for example, Superman for All Seasons, if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I read that book, but the way
Mhm.
that Luther was drawn in For All Seasons and the way he was depicted, it's very similar to Trump. I mean, you could pull up a picture. Like, sometimes, like, Luther was drawn like Trump back in the day. I remember that.
uh yeah, him as president. That's and there's gonna be certain people on the other side. Oh my God, dear me, Lex Luthor's Trump. There's gonna be those people. There's gonna be those people. Um, going against Superman just
Yeah, they're
because of
gonna
that.
say, "Oh, they're making fun of Elon Musk."
Or that, because I believe they're gonna make. I think they're gonna try to make Luther president in this universe. I think they should do it.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if they didn't go down that path at some point.
I would do it. It would definitely one up Thunderbolt Ross because like Thunderbolt Ross is not. Now, Thunderbolt was his president, but he's not exactly a villain. Lex Luthor is just a different level. Um, this is funny.
Yeah.
Simon says Superman Legacy will generate more revenue than Endgame and Infinity War combined. You want to hear what a crazy point? You want to hear something crazy about Avengers? John Campia says he thinks Secret Wars might be the first $3 billion film.
Yeah, that's obviously not
Good
going
luck
to
with
happen.
that. If Endgame couldn't hit 3 billion, what the hell makes them think Secret Wars will? Because Endgame had way more hype
Almost.
and like momentum going into it than Secret Wars does.
Endgame almost made it. There was
Yeah,
2.7
close.
billion.
And even some of the things that seem a little iffy out of the gate, maybe he'll win us over and we'll be like, oh, I did end up liking this interpretation. So Creature Commandos is for James.
And if I had to date one of these two, I think I'd take the bride.
Mm,
James Gunn's diehard fans because it is exactly the same as Peacemaker, and it's a direct spin-off of his Suicide Squad movie. To me, Creature Commandos highlights why it's not a good idea to have a creative talent as the business lead on a franchise.
What?
yeah, it's just more foolishness.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just
Just listen to her explanation of this.
Yeah.
No, but I really think that Superman should have kicked off his new DCU, but it's not. And I don't like that logo, by the way. I intellectually appreciate the new DCU logo because it's, of course, early Superman, the first comic, the first superhero, although it seems Superman is no longer the first superhero either. But when it played in front of every episode of Creature Commandos, and it just didn't rev you up. It didn't get you excited like the Marvel intro does, or the one that DC had before.
But the Marvel intro doesn't get me excited either, man. Honestly, I want to say this. This might be a hot take, Marvel fans, but you know how the DC films they always had that it's not the you always see the heroes, doing their signature poses or something. You see the lanterns, Batman. What I'm talking about when you say DC film.
Yeah,
I
I
actually
know.
like that.
Yeah.
I actually like, yeah. I actually like that better than the Marvel. Marvel, you just see footage and through the Marvel Studios name. That's
Mm,
it. Name. That's
Yeah.
it.
Well, I know Gunn said on Blue Sky, I think it was, that the DC Studios logo, that Superman is like their version of the MGM lion, to where it's going to usually be the same. But I'm assuming that it could change depending on. But I
Yeah.
think that's the idea. They want the DC Studios logo to be like the MGM lion, where it's that circle with the moving picture. You know?
You know. You know what
yeah,
I like to see. You know what I like
yeah,
to
that's
see
what he
before.
said. He said it's a MGM.
You know what I like to see. It probably won't do it. The Justice League TV show. They each show each hero to get their signature moment in the
Yeah, well,
opening.
that's what I was thinking. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I thought that the idea for this logo would be, oh, you would change the character inside the
Yeah.
circle depending on the project. But they're not doing that though. So
I'm sorry. I'm just.
at least not yet. I mean, maybe they could change it like to Batman when Brave and the Bold comes out, or Wonder Woman for Paradise Lost. But like,
In the DC,
it seems like they're just keeping the Superman one for the time being.
yeah, and the DC
Mm,
logo for each character, maybe it'll be the different colors instead. Like if they do the DC logo before the Batman, maybe make it red instead of blue.
But like,
Like,
imagine nitpicking the logo and saying that the
yeah,
logo is bad.
by the way, Aaron, I just remembered you were talking about the princess, right?
yeah.
Well, some people, I mean, this might be a spoiler, I don't know, but some people were saying that it might be Clayface.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean,
Ew! But it's so Clayface. Yeah, but so Clayface get pregnant. Oh my God! No, you just have a whole can of worms.
Yeah.
Blinded.
that's what
My God.
yeah, because you were talking about that you
By the
thought she
way,
was suspicious.
have you guys noticed though that she's being a lot more nuanced with like?
Yeah.
So on the live stream, she said, "Oh, the logo's terrible. It's so cheap and ugly. I don't know who would let them approve this." And then when she makes the video
Oh,
review,
with
it's
the,
like, intellectually, I respect this, but it just doesn't get you excited. Doesn't really get you
yeah,
pumped up to watch.
it's all like, who cares? Like, who
I'm just saying
cares?
that the tone is so different compared from the live stream to this video.
Yeah, she always does that. She says one thing, and then when she explains it, it's like it wasn't actually as bad as she first intended it to be or made it out to be. Grace is very weird.
Pause frame.
By the way, speaking of Harley Quinn, they always would score with a new piece of music, that intro, every time it played in front of one of their episodes, the old intro, and it was phenomenal. I talked about that. The composer actually reached out to me and said he was so happy that I noticed what they
Grace. It's not gonna be fucking Harley Quinn. Relax, man. It's different. Stop.
were doing, and I appreciated it. And that to me is like great packaging. You couldn't even do that here because it's so short. It's such a short intro, and it's a style of art that is not at all popular these days. So
It's almost like
I really didn't like
paying
that intro.
homage to the original comic book art of Superman from the 1930s. Like what? Like,
Yeah,
of course, it's
it's
not
stupid.
popular today. It's not the art style of today. It's the whole point. It's
And
retro.
I don't think people going to see the movies are interested to see the logo.
Yeah, I don't think the logo
Yeah,
is like
like
the most
who's going
important
to
thing.
nitpick the logo? They're just gonna be like, "Oh, it looks cooler. Oh, that's corny," and then move on
Yeah.
with their day. Like,
The,
come
the
on.
logo is not going to determine how good a film or a TV
But
show
I
this
will
mean,
is what
be.
I mean.
let's
Like,
be fair too. Let's be really honest. I love Marvel. I love the MCU, but that intro at this point, playing in front of everything, has gotten really stale because
Yeah.
yeah,
it's a very extended and long. Which is why, if you notice, for Marvel TV, they used to play it all the time.
They
Now they
changed
yeah,
have
it.
they
their
got
own
rid of
logo,
it.
which is way shorter. It's just,
Yeah,
hey, Marvel Television, blink, gone. Because even they know playing the damn opening theme
It's-
for a Marvel movie every single time gets old.
Yeah.
Again, I intellectually understand why they went with it, but from a fun perspective, it's not effective. But yes, back to why having a creative talent as a business lead is a bad idea. Because nobody but James Gunn would have greenlit this animated series. And they certainly
Well,
wouldn't.
James Zaslav let him. I mean, he has a boss, you know.
Yeah, the boss let him do
Yeah.
whatever he wanted.
The boss, Zaslav could say, "Yeah, we're not going to greenlight this."
I mean, and in all honesty, too, I mean, I don't think it's gonna do like gangbuster viewership, but is this show really that expensive if it's 7 episodes for an animated show?
No, that's why animation's so great. You can do it cheap, and it can still look pretty good.
Yeah, people are obsessed. I know this because Spider-Man is supposed to be a streamer in this new show. There's people upset he's a streamer. Come on, he's a fucking kid. Like, he's young.
Yeah,
He-
but that's the great thing about animation is that it's relatively much cheaper compared to other stuff. Like it doesn't cost much. Because for example, X-Men '97, Invincible, they get great ratings? No, they don't. Okay, just full transparency, they don't get amazing ratings. You want to know why they keep going though? Why these shows keep getting renewed? Because they're cheap to make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, animation is a great way to fill up content on a streaming service. You know, it's just endless
And
content voids.
yeah. Yeah, HBO was happy with the success of Peacemaker, that's a fact. Yeah, they wanted more from Gunn. And as long as they're happy, right? As long as they're happy.
Have allowed it to kick off a new era for a franchise.
Grace, though. James Gunn is not the first creative to come up with something to come up with something like this and work on the project that has something to do with the stuff he's creating. He's not the first. Okay? Not the first.
Because it doesn't feel fresh or new. I think that DC fans, by the way, also like to think that DC stories are more sophisticated and darker than Marvel's. Like that's where DC thrives, which is why, I mean, I know some of you will say not every DC character, but those characters just haven't proven to be as popular as I think the more darker interpretations. And I think even with the lighter characters for the mainstream
opportunity to prove themselves though, because there's been so many false starts and just like the other characters that aren't Batman haven't been given the opportunity to showcase themselves. So you can't really say, well, they're just not as popular. No one's gotten really to see what characters can do.
And unfortunately, when
Yeah,
Wonder
it's
Woman and
true.
Aquaman got sequels, because I like the first
Well,
Wonder
that's the thing
Woman
too.
movie.
Aquaman wasn't like dark and sophisticated, and that was
No.
successful.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say the first Wonder Woman was all that dark. I mean, it was serious, took itself seriously, but it wasn't like dark and sophisticated.
Just the sequels. I mean, the sequels were just not successful. I mean, what Aquaman 2 did, well, 400 million, and Wonder Woman obviously 84.
Yeah.
The sequels just didn't hit, but those movies did well. And I do think Wonder Woman kind of gave Justice League a bit of a box office push, a little bit. I think if it wasn't for Wonder Woman being well liked, I don't know if Justice League would. I think Justice League would have made less money.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
People put DC, I mean, maybe like, oh, can it break out of that box? And I guess that's a question we're going to find out, the answer to that question. But I think that's why Christopher Nolan, Zack Snyder.
If Superman bombs, she's going to be annoying as hell, isn't she?
Yeah, she's gonna be really annoying.
Yeah, she's going to be hard to listen to. She's going to...
well, a lot of people are going to be very hard to listen to be fair. It's going to be very annoying.
She's going to be like, I told you, Brian James Gunn.
If the movie is successful, she's also going to spin it too. Like, she just doesn't like like, she already made it clear she doesn't like James Gunn, and a lot of the criticism that she has, it's her own criticism. It's fine, but like, why does she have to put this spin like this is like what general audience believe in? It's not even true. Like, and like she said, most DC fans can't even agree because they're all over the place. But yet here she is trying to make this strange argument.
This is the same moment like Morbius. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, and then she said, "Don't make fun of Morbius too."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, did she say? What What did she say about Morbius? Oh yeah, she said she didn't say those words. Don't make fun of Morbius. I think it's something actually more crazy than that. You're bullying Morbius. Was it like
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Yeah,
something like
people
that.
are bullying this poor movie.
The movie has feelings. I didn't know a movie has feelings. AI just created. No, that's what happens. AI got so advanced that it created movies on its own without any human help. So that's what happened with Morbius. Jared Leto was AI the whole time.
For a little bit, and Matt Reeves have been so well received. And why a lot of us are more excited or most excited about the Lanterns HBO show that's coming up. Although, to be fair, James Gunn put that together. I think that is
No shit.
the best example of him just being a producer and putting the project ahead of himself. It's a little, I don't want to.
Yeah, that's because he can't work on everything. The DCU.
I think at this point, like, she just wants him not to do anything, just to produce stuff and don't make or direct or write or do anything else.
Kevin Feige's name is on every Marvel movie as executive, as a producer. That's what James Gunn's going to be. But Kevin Feige doesn't work on. I mean, Kevin Feige doesn't direct or do anything like what James Gunn does. But my point is, James Gunn is not going to work on everything in the DCU. Like Kevin Feige doesn't work in the Kevin Feige. He's just going to have a producer credit on the stuff because even still, the Batman. Let me ask the Ping one. Did the Ping one? I don't know the credits. Do they still have Walter Hamada on it? I don't remember.
Yeah, well, that's a good.
Not sure.
I honestly don't know if his name's on it or not.
Like, of course, he's not going to be directing or maybe writes maybe some, maybe, but he's not going to work on everything in the DCU. That's why he's looking at. That's why they're looking. That's why they have other directors like Supergirl and Lanterns and Brave. I mean, I know Blind is not a fan, but Andy Muschietti. Like,
Yeah, I saw
if he works on everything in the DCU, he's gonna be aging faster than he is. The guy's in his 50s. I think he's almost 60s. He'd be like 80, but he'd be feeling 80 by the time he'll feel like he's 80. And he'll seriously. My theory. No, she worked at Marvel. We don't want her DC. What? Her new Beast Boys. Oh my god. Peace Boy shorts.
Obviously, Jeff Johns was a whole nother problem, but Jeff Johns would only push his own comic book stories, and that was a real problem for DC
what
as
do you think
well.
James Gunn's doing?
I think she's trying to compare James Gunn to Jeff Johns, which is just weird.
The thing is, James Gunn is trying to push characters he likes too into this universe. I mean, they all do it. Creators all do that. It's nothing new.
And I wish that more often James Gunn would not, want to have his own flair on everything.
You could be
we'll see. For a project that's supposed to signal a new era, this is just so similar to Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad. And why is there more of this? Gunn's Suicide Squad movie wasn't even that successful. I know it came out during the pandemic, but it was not.
That's because it came out streaming too at the exact same time. That was the Warner Brothers day in release, 2021. That's why. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah.
No Warner Brothers movie did well in 2021.
Well, the only ones that did well were Godzilla versus Kong and Dune.
And Dune,
Oh yeah, that's right.
The rest, not so much, but
I think, yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, one's Godzilla versus Kong, which is like a mega event that nobody was gonna miss seeing. And Dune, I think Dune was a lot of hype, and an all-star cast.
Okay.
Very popular with his diehard fans, and really not beyond that. It certainly did not capture the hearts and imaginations of casual fans and moviegoers. So why does it have 2 spin-offs? I mean, that just...
Well, yeah, she didn't mention what Warner Bros. Did. I mean, I think that's a very part of info. I think she purposely left it out, or she...
Isn't this like... The thing is, what is successful at DC? There's barely anything that is successful. So it's like they have to find somewhere. If there was something that was critically successful, doesn't it make more sense to continue doing that and try to reach a wider audience than do something completely new.
That's not Batman. That's not Batman.
Yeah, well,
Well,
I mean,
see
no,
too, like the
completely new
Suicide
in terms
Squad.
of
Yeah, the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker are some of the best reviewed DC stuff of the modern era, right? They were
Yeah.
very well reviewed. The fans that did watched it, majority loved it. So why would you not at least consider continuing with it in some capacity?
yeah,
Yes, I think
it's
Gunn
just
is the same.
stupid. Like, I don't really understand that. It's like, okay, it wasn't a financial success, but you don't have any financial successes that can be built on. So it's like, well, okay, what's the most critically successful? Well, also the thing that James Gunn made and that he's passionate about. It's like I don't really have a problem with this until we get like more bombs, I guess. If we get more bombs, then it's like, okay, yeah, then we have to cut our losses and try to do something else. But as of right now, it's like, doesn't it make sense to iterate on something that was at least critically successful?
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Like like making a sequel to Wonder Woman and Aquaman were smart because they were a lot well liked and made money. That was that was smart. I mean, Flash, that was a headache. The whole process with the
Mhm.
Flash, Shazam. I mean, now people are just can't watch Shazam if can't watch Shazam anymore because of the
Well,
actor.
Shazam 2 didn't even do well, so why continue
No,
it?
no. All right.
Doesn't make any sense. If James Gunn wanted to kick off his new DCU with the signature show, and I can understand that, then I would have preferred it just be Peacemaker season 2 instead of this. Maybe it would get more people to watch Peacemaker season 2.
No, because this show is introducing a lot of stuff that's gonna be part of his universe, and it's gonna play into Superman because we know Rick Flag is his Superman. That's been leaked,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty sure Argus is his Superman too. I mean, um, this show is kind of like this show is supposed to be right, like give us an outline what this universe is gonna show us.
Well, it's not
That's
even
what
really
it
an
is.
outline. It's more so just giving you a tiny taste. It's like a taste of like
Yeah,
a
an idea.
larger world. Like, okay, like just with the first 2 episodes, you already know that Amanda Waller is operating the supervillain groups. You know that Rick Flag Jr. is dead. You know that there's some tension with the U.S. government and Argus. You know that there's magic in this world. You know that Themyscira, some people believe it exists. Some people still don't believe it exists, but it's a known location now. People know vaguely about the legends of Amazons. You
Hmm.
know, like there's already a ton of stuff about this world that you already know at this point. Again, lore building, world building, all that.
Yeah, and Superman is just gonna add to that. It's gonna just add to that.
Mhm.
It's all world building. I mean, it's not building the world from the ground up where you have a bunch of
Yeah,
origin
it's not
stories,
like it's
stuff like
trying to
that.
set up something. It's just like it's
It's
the only
not
thing it's
Marvel.
yeah, it's not setting up anything. It's more so
Yeah,
just like understanding the world that you live in.
yeah.
Because they'd be like, well, let's see, this is the start. Let's try it. Also, there are two other issues I
Virtual
want to
fantasy.
address about James Gunn before kind of moving past James Gunn to talk about the characters in the show,
Here we
etc.
go. Here we go.
But it's hard to separate the show from James Gunn because his DNA is infused in it. I mean, he really just kind of. It seems very strongly that he just made this show for himself, and if you want to watch it too, that's fine.
Yeah, he made a show for himself.
Mhm.
Doesn't
Yeah,
every director and artist make something for themselves because it's something that they're passionate about and that they're injecting their
and they
creativity
want to
into?
share it. Yeah, and they want to
I
share
mean,
it.
doesn't every artist self-indulge in their projects or inject something that's there to make them happy?
Mhm.
Isn't that just the
Yeah, for
process
sure.
of making art and entertainment? Self-indulgence,
I
you
mean,
know?
I mean,
But
if you
this
look
is
at
Grace
basic,
we're talking about
if you look
here.
at basic painting, if you look at people painting, it's a paint when you paint, right? It's an expression of how you feel when you're doing music, right?
Mhm.
Art is expression, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah,
I guess for himself and his diehard fans. But the
is she
reason I
gonna
say
say this about Superman? Because
I,
Superman's not gonna be anything like this.
I don't. Well, I don't even know what she's gonna say. Who knows?
I, it's I guarantee you, Superman's not gonna be anything like this, right? It's not gonna be anything like this. It's gonna be. It's not. Superman's not gonna be anything like Suicide Squad, Creature Commandos, or Peacemaker. And it's gonna have. It's gonna have humor and probably jokes, but it'll probably be more serious, more toned down. Well, first because not just because it's PG, because it's Superman. It doesn't really, and it does, and the characters don't really ask for that. The movie doesn't really ask for what his other stuff. I mean, it's gonna be more like I think it'd be more toned down than the Guardians, though,
Mhm.
right? Superman would be like, I don't want Superman to be too serious. I don't want to be like Zack Snyder. I just want Superman. I guess I wanted to be like Superman and Lois, tone rise, where there's seriousness but lightheartedness too, is some jokes, kind of like that. And I think if
Damn, 36 kills. It's
you kill
crazy.
36 people,
Yeah.
good for you. Man.
He's
Who are
playing
you
as
say
using?
for
Star-Lord.
himself in particular.
Star-Lord.
So two things. So the first is that for the first few episodes, Creature Commandos plays sort of like a weird James Gunn Deer Penthouse fantasy.
Oh my god!
Come on. Come on, man. Really? We're going here?
Mhm.
Oh, gee. Just let it play. Because I already know where this is going.
Yeah,
Like Flag Senior, who looks like James Gunn, we'll talk about that in a moment,
Oh,
gets
my
together with the
God.
princess in a very graphic and
yes,
extended
yes.
way.
He looks like the princess looks like hardcore because hardcore has short hair too, right? Right, his wife.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
so I was gonna
Please don't
say,
tell me. Please don't tell me she's going to say that. Please don't tell me
yeah,
she's going to say that.
yeah.
Please. Please.
And Gunn, by the way, has made such a big deal about casting Maria Bakalova, who he worked with on Guardians 3. Like he's made such a big deal that you would
Are you
think this
saying Grace? Are you saying like he wants to secretly fuck her? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, please don't.
character was a big deal, but the character's not a big deal.
So this is a way for him to cheat on his wife.
Or
She's
gonna say
only a
that.
big
He's
deal
not actually cheating on his wife.
in this specific way. So you're just kind of like, it's just, again, I said kind of icky. And then
Oh, is that
as
what
for
she's
Rick Flag
implying?
Sr., why is he animated?
Yeah.
That's like a personal fantasy. He's like, oh, I get to have myself insert have sex with this pretty lady actress I worked with. Like, what? Is that your implication?
It's the only way for James
Mhm.
Gunn.
That's like horrific if that's what you think this is.
It's the only way for James Gunn not to cheat on his wife.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm gonna get off to this.
Yeah, my God.
Like, is this seriously what we're stooping to? Like,
Yep.
this is just weird.
Thank you. Yeah.
To look like a roided out James
I
Gunn.
pointed out
And
A
James
roided
Gunn.
out-
roided out
that-
James Gunn. So he looks like a roided out James Gunn. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. What are we doing here, man?
Who is Peacemaker? Did Peacemaker John Cena supply him with steroids? I don't know.
So, because he has white hair
And
and
a white beard.
beard, that means it's James Gunn.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to anyone?
Here's the thing. Wouldn't Rick Flag Jr.
Like, there's a word I want to use right now, but I don't want to get canceled. But that is seriously like
Regarded.
remedial with the hard R. Like, oh my God,
Wouldn't it make
dude.
sense for Rick Flag Senior to have white hair and a white beard since he should be older than the son? The son's not like in the
They
20s.
literally explained
Yeah,
this. He
yeah.
Yeah, they
literally
do
said,
explain it.
I was gonna have they were gonna dye my hair and beard white, but I was filming
Yeah.
Tulsa King. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, he did say that.
Like, it was a contractual thing. He wasn't allowed to. Like, Jesus Christ, man. And even then, it's not that big of a deal. It really isn't.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
just the character design, but it's not. That's why it's
So
weird
she's
because Frank Grillo is going on to play this character in 2 live action projects, Peacemaker season 2 and James Gunn's Superman movie. But he doesn't look like
You
this.
ever hear
in
of Die, Grace?
Well, that just shows she didn't do her research at all.
either of those
You know actors dye their hair for roles, right? You know Emma Stone, she was in a blonde, natural blonde.
Even if you look at the Superman photo,
It's a
like,
little
you
white.
can see some white streaks in
Yeah.
that hair. Yeah.
Like, come on, Grace. You know actors and actresses dye their hair. Okay, Emma Stone was not blonde. It was not naturally blonde. She's a redhead. Okay.
projects. So it's just so weird and again kind of icky that and again in the opening credits there's an animated version of James Gunn, which is also kind of weird. All right. And you see that it's just like, again, it's like the roided version and the regular version.
Oh God.
They don't even look alike.
I hope Frank Grillo never sees this video because, man, if he'd be grossed out.
I would be grossed out.
Yeah.
So it's just,
I think she's the only one that makes this point. I think she's the only one.
No, I've seen a lot of idiots on Twitter say that he's
Oh.
a self-insert too.
Oh yeah. That's true. I seen that too.
Yeah.
if he has that weird fantasy thing, like, why are we watching this? Isn't this just for you? And on that,
But we say that about a lot of directors.
Oh my God! Please, no!
Frank Grillo
Stop! What do we? Oh my God! This is gonna
talks.
Be
Oh, this.
Yeah, she's gonna complain about Frankenstein and the Bride.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
that note, I continue to feel that Gunn, some of you have asked me repeatedly, what is my exact issue with the way that Gunn, has stories with female characters, especially his non-Marvel work. And we've talked about specifics, but I tried to think of an overall issue. And I think that a good way to describe it is that Gunn, and I'm not saying he doesn't intentionally, I hope he doesn't, he normalizes toxic behavior towards women, normalizes it, excuses it.
I mean, I seen that, but I seen this actually thing with Sex Matter.
It's so insanely stupid that she's saying this.
So she's saying that
earbuds died.
he normalizes and excuses toxic behavior towards women.
Yeah.
He's a villain. He's a bad guy.
See, if we got the Suicide Squad from David Ayers and saw some of the toxic stuff from the Joker and Harley relationship,
he's not a good person.
Yeah. I mean, she says about the penguin stuff too. Like, she goes on that point about the penguin, like toxicity towards women. I'm like, I think she just
Okay, I'm not one of those people. Okay, but this is like feminism rotting someone's brain to the core, where they just see misogyny and like disrespect towards women in places where it doesn't exist. Like, how can you look at, like, okay, just with the first 2 episodes, right? We're not even gonna talk about the rest of it because you guys will see it. Just the first 2 episodes. Does it look like they're making Eric Frankenstein look like a good person?
No.
He's creepy. He's a man-child.
Stalker. He's
a man-child who wants his toy.
Yeah.
He wants his wife no matter what. And he's obsessed with her. It's a bad thing. He killed someone just because his wife liked him better than him.
Mm-hmm.
He's chasing her through the years and doesn't take no for an answer.
Is it? Yeah.
Like, how is that normalizing toxic behavior or excusing it? Like, does she want
Is
the
it?
show to like sit down? Where it's like here, they want like James Gunn to like come out
Is
in
it?
animated form, pause the video, and be like, "Hey, everyone, this character here is a bad person. You shouldn't be like this person at all." What he's doing,
Here's the
like, does she
thing.
want the show to like stop and lecture the audience that what he's doing is bad? Does she not like?
If she, if
Can she
she,
not understand like subtlety whatsoever or like nuance to the fact that like the show itself is like
if she,
showcasing that it's a bad what he's doing is bad? Does she just want it spelled out for everybody?
if she's
Pretty
against this
much.
stuff, she should stick to Marvel because DC goes darker, goes deeper than Marvel will
But this
go.
this is remember this
Yeah.
okay, this is like this reminds me of when she got offended at the Super Mario Brothers movie being like Bowser's obsessed with this Peach character. Like this is really
Yeah.
creepy and stalker behavior. Like this isn't like this shouldn't be normalized or like this should be called out. I'm like, he's a
Yeah, that's why he's the
villain.
villain.
Cause like that like yeah,
Stupid.
him being obsessed with Peach and wanting to marry her without her consent's a bad thing. That's why he's the
Yeah.
bad guy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm worried about how she's gonna ever think of Joker in the DCU or in Matt Reeves' universe. Because I know she hated the fact that Carmine Falcone was the Hangman Killer and kills only women. I know she hated that in the Penguin,
Hmm.
right? Because she
Yeah.
goes after women. What do you think a fucking serial killer does? Serial killers have targets. Wait, you just want to kill men? She's she is toxic. I'm gonna say toxic feminist. She's a toxic feminist. That's what I'll call her.
And that just does not feel right.
And she fucking read comic books because in the comic books, there's a lot of this shit. Did like who is the villain that put like Guy Gardner's wife in the fridge? Was that Major Force?
Kyle Rayner. Yeah,
Kyle
Kyle
Rayner.
Rayner. Which that was pretty infamous back in the day and it became
Yeah.
like a
There was rape at DC. Dr. Light.
yeah, what they did with Dr. Light was I wasn't a big fan of that.
Joker was implied. Maybe the rape Barbara Gordon, the killing joke. That's implied. If you think if he did it, we know he shot. Like I'm sorry, but like DC goes very very. Does she think Jessica Jones is toxic because isn't Kilgrave like? I don't remember much. Was it Kilgrave?
Yeah. Kilgrave uses his hypnotist powers to like enslave Jessica Jones to basically be his personal sex pet,
Yeah,
like a sex slave,
yeah.
and it's horrific. Like she's traumatized for the rest of her life because of that. Because she's like doing all these things, and she doesn't have any control, and she's aware of what's going on, and she can't do anything about it. Like it's horrific. Like it's scary.
There's some real evil DC characters. Now, obviously, if this is like characters like Captain Cold, yeah, I agree with her because that's out of character. Captain Cold went through this shit, but this is different.
The relationship between the bride and Frankenstein, for instance, also is extremely problematic. In fact, the bride's whole origin story is really a problem. You know, it almost.
Well, because she's like a baby.
I can't discuss it in detail because I don't want to give spoilers, but let's just say it could be played in human resources seminars as examples of gross abuse of power. And then,
Why? Because her creator, like, romances her and has sex with her. Yeah, that's a bad thing too. Does that need to be spelled out? Like, yeah, what he did, like, oh my god.
Hey.
I mean, yes, I get what she's trying to say. Like, oh, Victor Frankenstein, the creator, is abusing his power because
You know what?
he's basically like imprinting on her these romantic feelings to take advantage for sexual pleasure, like having sex with her.
It
Like,
could have been
yeah,
worse.
like he's not a good person either.
It could have been worse. She could have done that when she didn't know words, where he wasn't helping her develop her brain. He could have took advantage right there.
Yeah,
Like it could have been.
this is why she also had a problem with that Poor Things movie too. I remember like, oh, she has like the mind of a child, and like all these adults are are manipulating this impressionable person. Like, yeah, it's kind of the point. Like, people
Yeah.
are bad.
Bad
I'm just
people do
saying,
bad
man.
stuff.
Like, oh my god, like villains and like morally questionable characters do reprehensible things. Who would have thought?
Mm.
You know?
Grace. If you don't like this kind of stuff, stick to Marvel because Marvel really doesn't do this kind of stuff. Marvel's not really going this far. Marvel's more focused on world destroying events and this kind of stuff.
After her origin story, the Frankenstein situation continues to be extremely problematic. And it almost seems like Gunn is trying to humanize someone who is essentially a dangerous stalker. And I just don't understand. I mean, I guess there's no one to give him that note. Peter Safran, what are you doing over there? Like,
He's trying to humanize the bride.
This is just giving me a migraine. How stupid this is.
even in a friendly manner, just privately being like, I don't know if you realize what you've done here, but this is what you've done. And so I think
I think they know what they're doing here.
that, as a woman, that's one of the reasons that his work, his non-Marvel work, and even a little bit of his Marvel work has consistently made me uncomfortable. I do miss Joel Kinnaman's Rick Flag. A good man among...
Okay. Have you seen his non-Marvel work? They purposely in Marvel's put Brie Larson that shirt. That wasn't James Gunn.
Well, she was complaining about Guardians 1. I remember she said Guardians 1 was like super misogynistic and offensive because of how the movie treated Gamora or whatever. She is constantly complained about. And she even says that Christopher Nolan can't write women and his female characters are offensive. Like, again, this is what I'm talking about, man.
Offensive?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, man. Like, this is like feminism has like rotted her brain a little bit regarding some of this stuff, you know?
Oh my god. The point of this is trying to make the female characters this strong. They're trying to give
it's like
strong.
female characters can't have any nuance or like be challenged or like have to deal. I don't know.
They can't be put in like terrible situations, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
Well, if she says she's read DC and Marvel, well, she should know that it happens all the time in DC and Marvel. Like, and Warner Brothers with the DC stuff is always willing to go farther than Marvel is. Marvel Studios, like Marvel Studios, would never do the stuff that the Batman universe would do, right? Like we know that, guys. Like, and they'll never do stuff like this, because let's be honest, DC is a little bit more adult than Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios is more kid friendly.
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna do anything close to this in a Marvel movie. Nothing. And it's ironically Marvel Comics was the darker comics than DC.
Yeah, now everybody's gonna pretend like
and that's
it wasn't.
Yeah.
Gunn's credit, by the way. He didn't come across that way in David Ayer's Suicide Squad. And that Flag's death in the Suicide Squad resonates still so profoundly. Again, that's very much to Gunn's credit. I mean, that scene is perhaps my all-time favorite of his DC work. I mean, it's just very, very impressive. Creature Commandos needs a Rick Flag-style leading man. And Frank Grillo, as his father, just is not a suitable replacement. Even John Cena, to his credit,
they're not. He's not just a leading man. They're all leading characters. That's why it's called Creature Commandos. It's not Superman. It's not Supergirl. It's called Creature Commandos. Okay. Suicide Squad, Harley Quinn, and Bloodsport were all like, yeah, they were all leading characters. All leading characters. That's what they all are. That's the difference between the titles. Peacemaker is a leading character, okay? Creature Commandos, every character is a leading character. That's the difference. I think she doesn't understand with a title has a team, they're all considered leading characters. But when when a title has a name of a hero or a villain, the hero is the leading character, right? Like I don't think she understands that. Who's Frank Rito? Frank Rito.
You know.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to say his name.
Frank Rito. Oh, Frank Rito. I think that's I think it's differently, but I think that's the guy Han Solo shot in New Hope.
Yeah, so like Frank Grillo. Frank Grillo. Who the hell's Frank Grillo?
It's Frank.
It's
Frank
Frank
Grillo.
Grillo.
It doesn't even. How
Like,
can
where
she
do you get the
mistake that?
Grillo from? Like,
Yeah. It's not like you can't. I know you can't mistake that. That's like
there's no
it's like
Y. There's no Y for yo. There's no E's at the front.
Frank Rito. Yeah, Frank Rito's the guy Han Solo shot in New
Yeah,
Hope.
who shot first, Han or
Yeah.
Frank Rito?
Very strong leading man energy, which is why I think Peacemaker is better anchored than this show.
Yeah, because
And I think that's
Peacemaker
one
is
of the
a
reasons.
fucking leading man. It's his name is the name in his the name is in his it's the title. It's not called Rick Flag and the Creature Commandos.
Reasons that I preferred the later episodes, because the bride, voiced by Indira Varma, really steps up and almost takes over the show, and I think she has very strong leading character energy. She's a great character, and with her large, athletic, but still very fashionable build, you know who she reminds me of? The monster version of Rebecca on Ted Lasso, played by Hannah Waddingham.
Fuck. What? What?
No clue. I don't watch that show.
I think she's just saying like in terms of like her look and athletic build, like a woman who wears like heels and stuff, but still has like a big size frame.
Oh.
I guess I don't know. I'm trying to
Frank
decipher.
Yeah, she's in that Ted Lasso. She's plays the owner of the soccer team that Jason Sudeikis coaches. That's her role.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I love that character. So I was like,
Speaking of which, Brett Goldstein is in this show. It's supposed to be is runner up for Hagrid. the guy who cameos Hercules in Thor: Love and Thunder at the ending. Hagrid is up for Hagrid.
Yeah, I saw there's a couple of names they're looking at for some different characters.
And Mark Strong possibly as Dumbledore.
They're looking at Mark Strong or Mark Rylance.
You know what they should do, just for the hell of it? Get Jude Law to be Dumbledore. Just get Jude Law.
Just bring back Jude Law.
Yeah.
Or they're probably gonna use some AI. Make it Richard Harris.
Oh yeah. Mark Strong. I know Mark Strong is mid-aged, but he doesn't look like he's old enough to be Dumbledore though. And Brett Goldstein doesn't look old enough to be Hagrid either. Like Robert Coltrane was what, like old?
Well, they're probably casting younger, so they can have these guys play those characters like another 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, it's just I guess it's just that when Harry, Hermione, and Ron, they're usually those characters are actually older, right? Like Dumbledore actually.
Well, if they're casting kids for the Harry Potter kids, they got to cast really young. Like they got to cast like some 9-year-olds.
What's
they
can
can grow up into those roles.
I think Dan Radcliffe is gonna make a cameo.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
look, it's the monster version. And she had some cool action sequences. I see real potential in the bride. It's nice to see Viola Davis back again as Amanda Waller, although I continue to feel that this depiction of Amanda Waller could have a little more kick. You know, it's just not enough. Which Davis is certainly capable of delivering, which makes it all the more frustrating. For instance, she just did an excellent job as the villain in the last Hunger Games movie. I'm like, let Viola Davis loose. Let her really, let her rip with this character. And I'm a big David Harbour fan, which makes it all the more disappointing that he voices Frankenstein. I like David Harbour quite a bit, but like Gunn, maybe that's one of the reasons Gunn cast him, and they probably get along really well. I think they both have very bad judgment, very bad personal judgment. And I'm a little tired.
Because he's playing a character that you don't morally agree with.
Yeah.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Flavor Flav should be dumb.
He has a poor sense of judgment because he plays a character I don't like. Huh?
Yeah. Come on, like David Harbour. You know. Yeah. No, let's see.
Of Alan Tudyk. Sorry, he voices my favorite droid, K2SO. But he's not as although I hate his Clayface on Harley Quinn. He is not as versatile as some people seem to think that he is. I'm like, he can only do like 2 or 3 voices. Dr. Phosphorus is a great addition to the team, although I just kept thinking of Derek
I don't think she watched Doom Patrol because he was such a great villain in Doom Patrol.
He's great on Doom Patrol.
Yeah. Mr. Nobody. Like I think he's underrated. Okay.
Powers, aka Blight from Batman Beyond, which is maybe why I like that character. I was like, oh, let's get some Batman Beyond in here. Also, for with a team, Dr. Phosphorus ended up being extremely helpful. He was very useful. I was like, I love
Phosphorus. I like Dr. Phosphorus. Flavor Flav should be Duppy Store. I don't think Degrassi cares for Harry Potter.
Team scenarios, X-Men fans know what I'm talking about, that certain power sets end up being surprisingly helpful across the board. And you're like, oh, what a great member of the team. And Dr. Phosphorus very much was that here. Also, Clayface. I'm glad it was a different version of Clayface from the Harley Quinn show. But I wish they hadn't revealed that he was even in this show, that character, because it was such a great surprise when I was watching my screeners. I was like, come on, don't talk about that. But it was cool. As I said, G.I. Robot has some of the most interesting and complex storylines and action sequences. But again, I think I've noticed a trend with James Gunn's work. Again,
okay, what's the trend?
Especially his non-Marvel work. And that's that he has a through line in a project about how this one thing that everyone can agree is awful. In this case, Nazis. But it's somehow supposed to excuse the icky, more subversive, problematic elements peppered throughout the rest of the project. You're like, yes, that is awful, but what about all these other awful things that you have in here that are, in fact, even a little bit more insidious?
Oh my God, are you seriously? Whoa. She just stop talking right there. If she talks about the Frankenstein and the Bride stuff, but then says it's bad and says it's good. It's good as everybody can agree on killing Nazis, but it's like, yeah, that's awful. But this other stuff is awful. I mean, nah. I wouldn't try to put those two things together with Nazis, with World War II and Nazis and all that. I would stay away from that.
I mean, this is just really dumb.
Yeah. Please don't. Yeah, I would stay away from that.
He's trying to argue that, he makes it like he keeps saying Nazis are bad, but at the same time, he has all this other horrible stuff in here that's also bad that gets overlooked because he's so focused on telling you that Nazis are bad. Well, I don't know. This is just this makes my brain hurt because how dumb it is.
Bland will be back. I mean, I hope Bland comes back. It's almost over.
Yes, because they're kind of snuck in there. But it seems to work with some people. All right, so to me, Creature Commandos is for hardcore James Gunn fans. I think I don't totally understand you. Some of you might be like, wait, it's just more of the same. But, I
don't think we understand you.
And also, I think people who still think DC animated movies are good will enjoy it. Oh, I went there. It's so sad what happened to DC animation. All right, so anyway, it's okay, I think, for other DC fans, like myself, if you can get through the first few episodes, you'll appreciate it,
Well, Degrassi, lately, her stuff has been pissing me off. You remember, I've been doing her for since July, August. I've been laughing most of her stuff, but since the Thunderbolt stuff, my demeanor changed around her.
I much prefer the Harley Quinn animated series and even the recent Batman Cape Crusader, which was far from perfect, but so beautifully atmospheric, especially as a film noir fan. I really liked that a lot. But I was able, as I said, to watch all these episodes, and I found some elements to be interesting and pretty good, and I was intrigued by the mystery.
But you
And
talk about the negative stuff more than the positive stuff, and you gave it like a decent, solid review on Rotten Tomatoes. But I felt this doesn't feel genuine though.
there are a decent amount of Easter eggs. I mean, none of that are particularly exciting. They don't really seem to go anywhere. But again, if you're a DC fan, you'll be like, oh yeah, I see it. I see what you did there. So I mean, I'm not like, oh, like Amethyst Princess of Gemworld. I didn't even like the comic again, but for some reason that would have really leveled this show up to an amazing degree. All right, so that's what kind of deep cut would you get really excited about? Like, what's a deep cut that only you would be excited about? All right, so that's my review of Creature Commandos, starting on Max, not HBO. This is just a Max show. HBO is like, we just can't take it anymore. All right, so it starts this Thursday.
What? We just can't take it anymore. You do realize it's the same company,
I
right?
can't take this review anymore.
Yeah.
First two episodes are dropping, so
she's ended. Let's see what the comments say.
You think the Riot 17th century origin story is toxic? You don't say.
I like the sarcasm there, huh? It's like
IRL people have toxic origin stories too. It's how life goes. What are the comments are there? Scroll down. What are some of the other top comments?
But her issue is necessarily that it's toxic by how it's handled.
Grace didn't like Suicide Squad or Peacemaker. She's not gonna like this. Yeah. I'm not saying James Gunn is perfect, but I can understand having some issues with his taste. But I have a hard time really understanding why Grace is so put off by his work. Like the way she talked about Peacemaker, I was expecting it to be very violent, tone deaf, and while it wasn't a Pixar flick, I ended up having a hard time finding what was so problematic about it. There's way worse stuff out there than anything that Gunn has done. Has put out. And I find most of his content pretty progressive, even by today's standards. I think Gray should try to contextualize the supposed toxic behavioral elements within the narrative of the story being told. I love that comment. I love knowing that if Grace doesn't like a James Gunn project, I know I'm gonna love it.
Yeah. Like...
Grace disliking a James Gunn project color me shocked.
Really,
we already knew she wasn't gonna like this show. What's that comment she liked? James Gunn's success will be based on Superman's success. It's just a side project. Doesn't need to be his magnum opus. If Superman works, everything else will work.
She's good. Like that comment. That was obvious.
Grace, I think James Gunn blocked you on X. It's the main reason why you don't like his projects.
Kama. Well, the Odyssey score is at 80%, so.
Yeah, it's like a review bomb though, which is really stupid.
Oh yeah. Oh, it must be. Maybe it's just Grace creating bot accounts.
Maybe.
I can see Grace doing that. I don't know what else she does in her day, in her life. Oh yeah, she praises the boys, right?
That is true. That is very hypocritical. Very true. All right. Well, I gotta get going. I got.
All right.
But thank you for having me on. This is fun.
You're welcome. Okay. Yeah. Later, man. Hey, Degrassi, if you want to come in, I mean, I'm gonna Yeah, Grace stuff is done with. I'm waiting for Blinded, but oh my god. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to July. I'm waiting to July for Grace. I can't wait to July. I can't wait to July. This. She is like the one critic, or critic as per quotation marks, that reviews movies in a weird, centric kind of way. You know, like she's. You know how all critics, when they review movies, they basically say the same thing, right? But Grace does it differently. She says a bunch of nonsense stuff. Yeah, just yeah. Will Superman break Grace Randolph? That's the question. Will Superman break Grace Randolph? I mean, I think it already is broken, but can he get any more broken? Is that possible? Is that even more possible to get more broken? I can't wait to the Superman trailer. I mean, when that drops, once the Superman trailer drops, I'm creating a live stream right. I'm creating a live stream right after it drops, man. You know that, Degrassi, right? You know I do that, right? I'll do that as soon as it drops. I'm creating a live stream for that. I'm gonna go over it. We're gonna have fun, and then, but I want so no, not this video. I'm not sharing this video, but Daredevil Born Again trailer. I'm surprised. I mean, I don't know when that's gonna drop. This the Daredevil Born Again trailer. Oh, and the thing is, Snyder fans are already broken. We know this. Yeah, I have a feeling she will. All right, I don't know if Blind is coming back. He said he might come back, but I don't know. I hope he's okay. Okay. Are you coming back, Blinded? Cause if you're not, I'll end it. Okay. December 16th? No, James Gunn shut that down. December 16th, he shut that down. He shut down that date. December 16th. So I asked Blind if he's coming back. If he's not, I'm going to end the stream. So I'm gonna find an answer. I don't know, but Grace, Grace, just if Kevin Feige, if Kevin Feige saw Superman, was he shredding? Was he shredding? He's like, oh no, this is to destroy us, the MCU. We might. Is he shredding when he watched it? I don't know when it's gonna drop. New Year's week. I don't know if it's gonna drop on New Year's. I don't think New Year's is the right time because people are gonna be watching other stuff on New Year's. Okay. Um. It's more. Okay. That's what I think. I'm gonna say this. I think the Superman trailer will drop on Superman's December 3rd, 15th. But if it does not drop on the anniversary of Superman, the 15th, I don't think we're getting it this month. That's what I think. All right. I don't know if he's coming back. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because that movie, that trailer, because that show comes out next month anyway. So yeah, it should come out very soon. I'm surprised we haven't got the first trailer for that film. Honestly, I'm surprised. Are you coming back? Oh man. Well, I think. See now I think I'm with Degrassi. I don't think the Superman trailer is dropping at the Brazil event CCXP. Nothing really is coming out there anyway. So I don't think we're gonna get. I don't think we're gonna get the Superman trailer from CCXP. Sorry. All right. So how long has it been doing this? 2 hours. I don't know. Blind's coming back on. It is past 12. Um. I guess I should end this. I will end this. So yeah, man. Well, I guess yeah. I'm gonna end it. All right. Like, share, subscribe, comment below if you're new here. Tomorrow will be another stream. And not this related. It'll be a Let's Talk Pop. Hopefully, Let's Talk Pop. But yeah, like, share, subscribe.